is the question. Two lamps, one rated 100 watts at 220 volt and the other 60 watts at 220 volt, are connected in parallel to an electric main supply. What current is drawn from the line if the supply voltage is 220 volt? Okay, here we have two bulbs. One is 100 watts, other is 60 watts. They are connected to a 220 volt line, 220 volt supply. So the current will be flowing from the main line, 220 volt line. Suppose I is the current flowing from the main line. Then that's split into two branches here. One current flows through this one, that is I1 through the bulb, through the 100 watts bulb, and another current flows through this one. The current I2 flows through the bulb with the 60 watts. Okay, now we need to find the total current in the main line, that is this current I, that will be equal to I1 plus I2. Total current will be equal to I1 plus I2. So the first equation is the total current I is equal to I1 plus I2. The power of the first bulb is P1 is equal to 100 watts. 100 watts. Power of the second bulb is P2 is equal to 60 watts. 60 watts. And both are operated in a potential difference of 220 volt. 220 volt. Now we can find out the current flowing through each bulb. We can use the equation here. Power P is equal to V into I. Power P is equal to voltage into current. Power P is equal to V into I. So from this equation, current I is equal to P by V. Current I is equal to power by voltage. Okay. Now first we'll find the current passing through the 100 watts bulb, I1. That is I1 is equal to power P1 by V. V is same for both. V is 220 volt. That is same for both the bulbs. That is equal to I1 is equal to power P1 is 100 watts. P1 is 100 watts divided by voltage is 220 volt. 0 cancel. That is I1 is equal to 10 by 22. 10 by 22 is 0.4545. 0.4545 ampere. Okay. The same way we can find out the current passing through the 60 watts bulb also. That is I2 is equal to current passing through the second bulb. I2 is equal to P2 by V. P2 by V. V is same for both. That is equal to P2 is 60 watts. 60 watts divided by 220. So 6 by 22. That is equal to 0.2727 ampere. 0.2727 ampere. Therefore, the total current in the main line, current I is equal to I1 plus I2. That is current I is equal to, we have I1 value 0.4545 ampere plus I2 is 0.2727. That is equal to 0.7272 ampere. So 0.7272 ampere is the total current in this line. This is 0.7272 ampere. Ampere current flows through the main line. Sum of the current consumed by 100 watts bulb and 60 watts bulb. Okay. Which uses more energy? A 250 watts TV set in 1 hour, 1200 watts toaster in 10 minutes. The power of TV is given. The power of TV is how much? 250 watts only. It is very low power, less power only, 250 watts. The time it is used is given. Time T is equal to 1 hour. And the power of toaster is 1200 watts. 1200 watts, very high power, and it is used for 10 minutes. The time used is 10 minutes. which uses, the question is, which uses more energy? Which of this device consume more energy? We can find out the energy by using the equation. Energy is equal to power into time. Energy is equal to power into time. Then find out the energy consumed by each device. The energy consumed by TV. Energy consumed by TV is equal to power of the TV is 250 watts. 250 watts. Into time we should convert into seconds. Okay, it should be in SI unit. And time 1 hour should be converted into second. So for converting 1 hour into second, 1 into 60 into 60. For converting hour into seconds. This much will be the energy. This much joule will be the energy consumed by the TV in 1 hour.
9 lakh.
Or we can write 900 kilojoule. Then energy consumed by toaster. Energy consumed by toaster is power into time. Power of the toaster is 1200 watts. Time is 10 minutes. The 10 minutes should be converted to seconds. For that 10 minutes into 60. For converting minute into seconds, multiply by 60. 7,20,000 joule. Or we can write 720 kJ. Listen here, there is an important message in this question. What is the message in this question? What message it conveys? Usually TV, like electronic devices, are working with low power. Okay, it is having only 250 watts power, and toaster is very high, 1200 watts. Even if TV is low power device, we are using that for continuously for many hours, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And toaster we use for only few minutes only, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, like that. Now you compare the energy consumed here. TV is used continuously for 1 hour. Usually we use more than 1 hour, 3 hours, 5 hours continuously. It is 250 watts only, but the energy consumed is 900 kilojoule. Toaster is very high power, 1200 watts, but we are using that only for a few minutes only, 10 minutes only, and the energy consumed is only 720 kilojoule. So TV is consuming more energy than toaster. The reason is that we are using TV for long period of time, and we have this idea in our mind, it is a low power device, so it won't consume much energy. But energy consumed, it also depends on the time, the duration of time we are using the TV. So usually low power device like TV we continuously use for 4 hours, 5 hours, so the energy consumed will be normally very high. The next question number 17. An electric heater of resistance 8 ohm draws 15 ampere current from the service main and for 2 hours. Calculate the rate at which heat is developed in the heater. Rate at which means what? Per second. So this hours is not required here. Okay, this time value is not required because it is asking per second. For 1 second how much, means it is indirectly asking the power. Rate at which heat is developed or energy is consumed, all are power. So rate at which heat developed means power of the device. So which equation we can use here?
Equal to I square RT.
We have current here and resistance. Okay, so power P is equal to I square R is enough, no need of time. Okay, I square RT is energy, I square R is power. P equal to I square R is power, I square R into T is the energy. But here it is asking calculate the rate at which heat is developed. Rate at which heat developed means heat developed in 1 second. R is equal to 8 ohm. Now we can solve it. R is equal to 8 ohm and current I is equal to 15 ampere. I is equal to 15 ampere. Then rate at which heat developed is equal to power, that is equal to I square R 15 square into resistance 8. So answer is 1800 watts, joule per second. Joule per second is also watts, or we can write 1800 watts. The energy consumed or heat developed in 1 second is 1800 joule. Can you read the question number 18?
Why is tungsten used most?
Explain the following. Okay, you have to explain each one of the following. First one, A, only.
Why is the tungsten used almost exclusively for filament of electric lamps?
Okay, what is the reason? It has high resistivity.
High
Then,
melting point.
High melting point.
yeah, high melting point. Very good. That is how much?
3380.
3000 degrees Celsius. Good. So it has very high melting point. Because of this very high melting point, it can be heated to white hot. Can be drawn into thin wires. It is highly ductile. What is the advantage of making in thin wire? Because resistance is equal to rho into L by A. When we make it thin wire, area cross section will decrease. When area cross section decrease, resistance will increase. When resistance increase, heat developed I square RT will increase. When more heat energy is developed, as per the equation H is equal to I square RT, when more heat energy is developed, it will start glowing with white light. Next question B. Anyone can read that.
Why are the conductors of electric heating devices, such as bread toasters and electric irons, made of an alloy rather than
What is the reason? There are two reasons for this. Usually we use alloys for making heating elements of toasters, bread toaster, electric iron and all. The two reasons. The first reason, alloys have resistivity. So first reason, alloys have usually high resistivity. They will not oxidize easily on heating. If it is pure tungsten, pure tungsten metal, if you are heating in open air without the glass bulb, without the glass casing of the bulb, the tungsten will react with atmospheric oxygen from tungsten oxide and it is a smoke, it is a gas. If you heat a single metal with a very high temperature, it can easily oxidize by reaction with the oxygen in the atmosphere. But alloys will not oxidize easily when it is heated in contact with the air. The next question number C bit.
Why is
See bit of
the
this
series
question.
arrangement not used for domestic circuits?
Why is the series arrangement not used for domestic circuit? We have already written the advantages of parallel combination.
Yes.
The just opposite we can write for this one. Why series arrangement is not used?
For defect in one of the devices means the whole circuit will not break.
The defect in any one of the devices will affect the working of all other devices in series combination. If one bulb is burned, all other bulbs will stop working. Or one device is burned, all devices will stop working. Then in the circuit, total resistance will be maximum. All resistance will be added up, R1 plus R2 plus R3 in series. Then
Sir, not all the devices get the same voltage.
all devices will not get the same potential difference, same voltage. The devices are designed at the manufacturing time, they are designed for working in one particular potential difference. So if it is 220 volt, all devices must get 220 volt. But in series combination, each device will get different voltage. But we need all devices same voltage. In series it is not possible. That is why series combination is not used in domestic electric circuit. Then
That current, all will get the same current.
in series circuit current will be same, but different devices with a different power, they need different currents. But in series, all will get same current only. Suppose in a circuit there is a bulb, fan and AC. Bulb, it is only 5 watts and AC is 2000 watts.
AC, sir.
AC will take more current because in parallel circuit, we know that among these three devices, the LED bulb, fan and the AC, which has smallest internal resistance. AC has the high power device will have smallest internal resistance. So that smallest internal resistance means through that more current should be flowing. So AC will get enough current in parallel combination. But in series combination, all devices will get same current. Series combination cannot be used in domestic circuit. Any other point?
So only one single switch can be controlled.
Yeah, in series combination, each devices cannot be controlled by separate switches. If you want to switch on a device, you have to switch on all the devices. If any one switches off, all the devices will stop working. Means each device cannot be controlled by separate switches in series combination. But in parallel, it is possible. In series combination, each device cannot be controlled by separate switches. Okay, so these are the points. The first point, in series combination, all devices will not get same potential difference, same voltage. Each device cannot draw enough current. All of them will get same current only. And each device cannot be controlled by separate switches in series combination. Defect in any one device will affect the working of all other devices. Total resistance in the circuit will be maximum in series combination. Okay. Now question D.
How does the resistance of a wire vary with its area of cross section?
When area cross section increase, resistance will decrease. The resistance of a conductor is inversely proportional to area cross section, 1 by A. If A is the area cross section, then resistance is inversely proportional to area cross section, 1 by A. Then last question, why are copper and aluminum wires usually employed for electricity transmission? In transmission line, normally we use copper and aluminum because they have low resistivity value. Resistivity value for copper is 1.62. 1.62 in 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter, and that for aluminum is 2.63 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter. For aluminum, 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter. So among these two, copper is the best one. But still we are using copper only inside the house, inside the home, in domestic circuit only. Outside, for transmission of electricity from the power station to the home, to the city, we are using aluminum. Copper is not used. Two reasons are there. Okay. Copper is very costly. We cannot afford that. Okay. The construction cost will be very high if you use copper wire. We need thousands of kilometers. Thousands of kilometers are required for transmission lines, and that much copper it will be very costly. And second thing, copper is a heavy metal compared to aluminum. Density of copper is high. So if you hang copper wire between two distant towers, because of the weight of copper, it will break by its own weight. Copper wire, if it is very long in length, it will break by its own weight because of the high density. But aluminum is a light metal, its weight is less, density is less, so it can be hanged between two distant towers. It won't break easily because of the low density, its weight is less.